Welcome to the two.
Sandals and shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic, episode 246. Back here on a Monday, keeping that streak very well and healthy. We're going to go ahead and get into the soccer that is being played in the city of San Diego. Soccer and sports in general in San Diego. Not bringing a lot of smiles over the weekend. San Diego Wave lose 2-0 against the worst team in the league. Houston Dash come in and it's dash any hopes for San Diego Wave qualifying into playoffs. We'll get into it with our editor-in-chief and pretty cool guy. He has his own fan club. Abraham Cepeda will be joining us for that. And then we'll talk about maybe some near end of the season, just grades. What do you have this season overall? It's been a long season. It's been a very long season for the San Diego Wave, who then face Club America in CONCACAF W Champions Cup. There is still a chance. Is Landon Donovan going to keep this job through CONCACAF Champions play if they make it and qualify in first place and beat Club America on Wednesday? And then we'll touch on some other stuff on the community with some goals, gaffes, and greats. Some good stuff coming up. Season's greetings. Chiva.
How's it going?
We were here earlier having ourselves a little chat. Thank you for the good people at KPBS. We were interviewed by KPBS.
Pretty cool.
Because again, I love PBS, public broadcasting, and I love anything that has to do with that world. I was taught English by KPBS, Arthur, Sesame Street, everything on there. Some great shows, some Rick Steves travel channel style shows. He's an OG. Anyway, we were on there. It was very NPR. Like, I don't know if you had no idea what you were getting into.
No, I thought it was going to be more of a conversation. It's question.
Nope.
Answer.
It was a question answer. It's very, very newsy. Very.
Yeah.
I was loving that so much.
And you guys know my English sucks, so of course I me trabé poquito en unas.
No. But like,
You
look,
said it's you don't know why I choose certain words.
Yeah, I don't know why you choose certain. There was a word that you. Do you know what word it was that you struggled with?
Hub.
There was a word.
Hub. Yeah,
Hub.
I
Yes.
with it
Hub.
so bad. I said hob.
Hob. Like, it's just like a mental break that you have with your face muscles that doesn't allow your tongue to move in a certain way. Just like hub.
Maybe
Hub.
Maybe they're right.
All right. So that's gonna be incoming here close to Wednesday. It's funny because we were played in and they break it up into segments and they're like, oh, and thank you for joining us back here on the program. You just heard head coach for San Diego Wave, Landon Donovan, give his take on this and this. Now moving on to the next segment, where we're going to go talk about the history and soccer in San Diego. Tony Sanchez from the San Diego
co-founder
of, I was like, okay,
very fancy.
So that's going to be very, very interesting.
Tony.
Very demure. Go ahead and check that out. It's the midday edition of KPBS. It's going to be all audio. So crazy to be.
Oh, I apologize for those who
part of that.
Just hear me.
We'll give links.
Todos.
Yes. Season's greetings to everybody. It's been a painful kind of week in sports in San Diego in general.
Tell me about
San Diego Padres not getting
today.
it done. Don't tell me San Diego isn't a sports city. Period. No. Don't give me that face. Sans whatever, like the way the city rallied around the Padres in a sports kind of way is impressive, or no? Or no?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that should be at every city.
cool. Okay,
That should be the minimal expectation.
So minimal expectation. Will San Diego FC draw that? Right now, this season for San Diego Wave hasn't been good at all. But like, will San Diego FC also meet that expectation? Or, I've seen some pretty empty games at Petco Park in my years. A lot of them actually. So will that be the same for soccer? Is soccer different? Like, these are the questions that are going to be answered in a couple months, maybe year, because that's when it'll roll out.
I don't think it'll start out like that, today. But maybe that has potential to happen.
But all right, so yes, the word hub, the concept hub, was too much for him to comprehend there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into San Diego.
todo el episodio en español.
Yeah, it's fine. You speak pretty much do it in Spanish anyway. The whole show. We're gonna get into it with our fantastic editor-in-chief. He writes. He's the guy. But this is our coverage for San Diego is a sports town. Abe, San Diego Wave has made it evident that soccer is a viable business. Hello? Okay, all right.
You said no smiles in San Diego? Are you kidding me?
No smiles. What are you smiling about, Abe? What can you possibly
es toda la afición de San Diego este fin de semana. Chiquitibomba la bim bomba. Chiquitibomba la bim bomba. San Diego.
I mean, it was rather brutal. That
así estuvieron,
crescendo.
2-1 lead y la cagan.
All right, that's one sport. I mean, we could get into
¿Sabes que también
that.
La cagó San Diego Wave.
San Diego Wave.
Shit the bed.
Because San Diego Wave has not been able to produce a lot of positives this whole entire season. I mean, going back all the way into just not really being in the best of forms. Casey Stoney outside of football operations situations that have been arising. A article coming out, Defector Media having an article pretty much documenting everything up to this point with their through their lens. Go ahead and check that out if that interests you. But here on the field, it hasn't been anything to really write home to and about, because San Diego Wave, it's just been a constant disappointment machine this entire season. On paper during the pre-warm-up session, I told you, like, on paper, this team is a great team. This is a fantastic team, and that's been the story this whole season, where it just hasn't been able to move forward. But I don't know. Is there anything left to smile about, at least in the NWSL league sense, for San Diego Wave?
You know, I've always gone into the mindset of going to a sports game and having fun, win or loss. And that just, I think, came from years of watching bad Padres teams. So watching sports just makes me smile. So even when you have disgusting results, I say that quoting Landon Donovan.
Yep.
Those aren't my words. Those are Landon Donovan words. Disgusting.
Yeah, they were.
And yeah, so I'm having fun no matter what. We're covering sports. We're having a good time.
It's one of those games where you look at it on paper and you're like, Houston, on paper, is the worst team in the league right now. If there is one team you just cannot lose to, it's the worst team. With a lineup like this, granted, Alex Morgan, I don't think really would have mattered in these senses, in these games, to say, hey, maybe has she been in there? No. This is what you have. You trim the fat with some Dahl Kemper action that you didn't feel that was necessary for the rest of the season. You granted her a wish. But this is the lineup that you had, and it's a pretty solid outlook here. Chiva, I know you like kind of getting into some of this action here, but Naomi Girma, Jaden Shaw, healthy
It's
Olympians.
it's a solid lineup. Abe and I were talking about it when the team dropped it. Uh, I mean, yes, I mean you have everyone coming back from injury. Yeah, not everyone's fully fit or fully healthy, but this is a very solid lineup compared to previous games. There was games where you had to sign a wave employee to fill the bench.
Yeah.
You know, like you have essentially a solid team back, but everything was for San Diego Wave to just win the game and make playoffs a lot easier for themselves. Racing Louisville drop points, Bay
Yeah.
FC drop points. Like it was literally just written for you to win this game, and you had a great chance of making playoffs, especially playing Louisville in the last game of the season. So I don't know. I think that added pressure to them. I asked the players that after, and they didn't think so, but I don't know. They just did not play good.
Let's just say also before you go, Abe, that there's a lot of different takes that we're having, whether it's players saying different things about certain subjects than the manager, i.e. the field and the patchiness, and just two different, completely different messages. Not that that's bad or wrong or anything, but you're seeing just everything's been said at this point in the season. Everything's been said, Abe. I mean,
You can't
is
say
there
that when you have a podcast. Everything's been said. We're going to talk about
that's it.
this for the next hour. What
Everything's been
come
said.
on.
Goodbye.
No, nothing. Not everything's been said. Okay, this is one of the most disappointing, bad games of wave football that we've seen like in their history. Okay, they have the chance to not clinch a playoff spot, put them in prime position to keep winning and potentially get a playoff spot, and they lose against literally the worst team in the league, the team with the worst record. The players and coach can say, "Oh, they're playing better. They look like not a bad squad." You lost to the worst team in the league at home when you had the open chance to do it. It's simple. That's all that happened.
You did indeed get beat. No Maria Sanchez revenge game 2.0.
Not at all. And I mean, when you look at the table now, Wave are closer to last place than they are to a playoff spot. They're 2 points ahead of Houston Dash and Seattle Reign, and then they're still 6 points behind Bay FC. So at this point, it's more of a probability that they end last place in the season and really go first to last than actually making a playoff spot. The season's dead for San Diego Wave.
Not technically, but
Not technically.
Mathematically, it's
mathematically
not,
speaking.
but realistically, the season had been dead for a while.
Correct.
yeah, it's like when a movie when the person's shot and they're just sitting there bleeding out, and you're like, maybe they should be dead. Like it would be a bad movie if the person was actually alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's that San Diego sports mentality I keep telling you about, and nothing bad about it. But I mean, it's the keeping that optimism.
You keep San Diego's
It's not optimism.
name out
I
of
don't
your
think
mouth,
it's
bro.
optimism. I think it's math. They can't.
It's hoping. It's being hopeful. It's not gonna happen the way they're.
I don't think
playing,
it's
the way
gonna
they're
happen.
playing. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. I mean, okay, let's talk about the play, the goal, the first goal. It's a penalty. Could have been a red card for Naomi Girma, but the rule says you can't double punish the team. You can't punish.
No
the team
double
twice.
jeopardy. No
So,
double jeopardy here.
If it's a penalty, it'll be a yellow card. If it was outside the box, something like that, it could have been a red card. But I don't know. This is the world's best defender, and obviously they're going to make mistakes. She's still a young defender, but I think she was still trying to play the ball.
I mean, yeah, the intent was there. I could say the intent was there at all times, but a call that kind of took everybody by surprise. I think usually you'd see that. You just chalk that up to, okay, there was a collision, but somebody got the ball. Abe, you had an interesting perspective and point of view and power here. I don't know if that's something that can be quoted from what you wrote now. Is that something that can be spoken of?
Yeah, technically, I'm allowed to say. I was the pool reporter for the game, and I asked the question as to why that penalty was awarded to Houston, and I believe you put me on the spot. I don't know the exact wording. Let me look it up.
Yeah. So with that context, right? Just knowing that this play that unraveled here is going to be relatively important, and this game just smelled and felt like this same Wave where, watch, they're going to get scored on in the first half. Second half, they're going to play really well. They're going to play better, but they're just not going to have enough, and they're going to tie but not win. Later, little did I know, Abe.
The referee determined there was a reckless foul committed by San Diego number 4.
That's enough for a penalty.
And that was a quote after you asked, inquiring about that play. Essentially, the referee said, I called that a penalty because there was a foul.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's
that's
the
what
answer. That's the answer.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what they all look like. All the pool reporter questions and stuff. They never really get into specifics on the play. I think it would be better if we had to actually like speak with the referee, because then
That'd be
they
cool.
wouldn't write out a very legal response like that, and they would probably be a bit more honest.
You
But
didn't like that they had a sign, that you had a sign. You were made to sign. We were exchanging signatures in the press box, just kind of pre-match, just kind of, hey, what does your little scribble scrabble look like?
yeah, if you guys want to know how egotistical Tony is, he has his autographed practice signed out. It looks like a famous person. He has notebooks full of it. Like, talk
That's
about it.
actually true. Like I tell people that, like, I thought I was gonna make it. I really thought I was gonna make it as a soccer player at some point. I'm
Aw.
talking like,
Cosita.
like
Pobrecito.
8, 9, 10, and like
Oh.
I would practice a signature that would be easy because I'd be on the go, because obviously people would want my autograph.
Oh,
And so I
my
would,
heart.
I would have
You-
notebooks and blank sheets of paper.
You poor thing
where I
thought
would-
you were gonna go pro.
Yeah, sure.
That little fat boy thought he was
and then,
going
like,
pro.
And then I'd practice it, and I'd literally have
Aw.
just notebooks of my own signature, literally just caked everywhere. And to
All right,
this
guys.
day, it's just like,
It's time to talk about the elephant in the room with San Diego Wave right now. It's this pitch. This pitch sucked.
All right.
What? Okay. Was this safe to play on? Your big issue with the field is just if it's safe to play on, great.
Yeah.
This didn't seem like it. Players kept slipping.
Yeah.
We had a few injuries. There was 9 minutes added in the first half due to injuries and VAR. You tell me, Tony. I mean, do you have any inside info on that?
So actually, I did get some
quote?
pictures.
Oh.
Actually, this is kind of going back over to October 3rd, right? Not too long ago, in terms of pitch quality, the picture that I was given is very angled in a way where if you looked at it from a certain way, the near side hard cam side looked better. So that would be kind of in the area to the left of the screen here, where it was a little bit more full and green, right? And then it's kind of in the areas, in the goalkeeping area and the small box area, where it gets very dry and patchy. So the picture I have here looks great, newly installed, because this is beautiful new grass installed and snapped for just 3 months of use. They are one of 3 tenants, but this is one of the only stadiums that has such a turnaround of brand new turf. Usually some literally just have the one, maybe 2. As we've learned here on Two Balls and a Mic, San Diego Punto Football, no, there are fields of this turf just at the ready to go. So with that in mind, this was not a good look, and it just continues to be an eyesore in terms of NWSL, just soccer in general at Snapdragon, because of the premium quality product that is being promised. And there's a lot of fingers to be pointed everywhere. At the end of the day, I do say player safety. As soon as players start going down and getting injured, and you can visibly see the frustration. I saw a couple players, I think Emily Van Egmond gave a good through ball in the first half that required her to kind of John Terry motion, and she slipped, but she looked down and was visibly angry at the ground and field and kicked up some sand. So these are the things that are happening now without San Diego FC. What the plan is moving forward is going to be an interesting one, but
Hey, man.
that's in a lot of ways unacceptable. However, look, man, there's an element to not playing in a perfect pitch. If that's what you're going to be about, then be about it. That's CONCACAF, I guess. But
If
you
you're
should
one
be
of
able
the
to,
few
in
people-
America's finest city, procure or do better. I don't know. And
No, here's the thing. If you're one of the few
I want to have
people-
him back. I want to have him back and just ask, like, hey, what do you
pedo
do here?
away.
Yeah, the Mount West logos aren't there. Like that, they worked on that. Like it's clear that there was some effort put into it, but
the people that bought the pitch side like VIP box for San Diego FC are gonna get a first
Yeah,
And
front row
front
seat
row
to a kick full of sand.
to what that grass looks like.
I mean,
They
if
sold
you're
out.
named the
That
Wave, you kind of have to play on sand, no? Like you're by the beach.
Oh,
You know what?
That's probably
Yeah.
why. Think about it
Yeah.
that way. Come on.
That's why the season has been so crappy, because the water's contaminated here in San Diego. Great.
Yeah, no.
Anyways,
And
San
the
Diego
second
went
goal
on
was
2-0 here. A mistake from Kristen McMahon, right, Abe?
well. You could say it was a mistake, but she slipped and fell on this sand. Like part of that, you
Yeah.
can attribute to the pitch. I think like she's trying to control the ball.
No. She messed up more. I'm not gonna say she slipped. Like, she just messed up.
I think you can lock her down a little bit more on that counterattack if you're not slipping on dry sand there.
I don't even think she slipped. I think she just got the ball taken away and then she lost her balance.
Krista McNabb should never been in a situation to have her slip in the first place.
Yeah, no, get rid of it. There.
That's you have Sheridan. Play it back,
She
Sheridan.
lost her balance. She didn't slip. I'm sorry.
It still leads to the same feeling of, oh my god, like this is horror. Just kind of unraveling here. The worst team in the league coming in, playing a solid team,
Revenge game.
but
For
playing
Houston.
a solid match. Houston, don't take anything away. Like, yeah, Wave didn't do well, but Houston Dash came in and took it to San Diego, and they just didn't have a response. You saw Jaden Shaw be very frustrated. I think I pointed that out to you. When I point things out to you, Abe, that's how you know it's bad, because I have not the best eyesight. I'm like, nope, Jaden's mad. Like, she's visibly upset. She came and had a very hard foul. That borderline just yellow card plus, almost red, like maybe, but nothing's working for San Diego Wave at this point. And Landon was very clear about this in the post match. But what are your thoughts just about the match in general?
I mean,
before here,
they did everything they've done in the Landon Donovan era. They had 60-something% possession. They had a bunch of shots. This was the most corner kicks they've had all year. And corner kicks is supposed to be their specialty. Most of their goals have come from set pieces with crosses from Maria Sanchez and Cascarino, and they couldn't score any of them. Like, it's just emblematic of this whole season. You can't score. That's it. They weren't able to score, and you lose because of it. And it's just crazy because this was the first place team in the league last year. And now they're flirting with last place.
It really did feel this time. Landon has talked about it before, where when they go down, the players had kind of like a loser mentality. It's like, oh shit, here we go again. Like back, like we're down already. And previous games that was happening, and they were able to shut that out and still try and tie it up and come back, right? For this game, it felt like as soon as they gave up that penalty, the whole morale went down, and they said, really, against Houston? And then from that mindset, they couldn't shake it out, and then just went downhill from there.
Cascarino also not being at full match fitness doesn't help. Mira Lee, although not listed on the injury report officially, kind of, at this point of the season, which player doesn't carry something? It's just the reality of things. And also with that substitution, where you saw Naomi Gurma in about the 81st minute come out with Jaden Shaw. Jaden Shaw was not happy. She sat outside of the seats inside the technical area, just kind of taking it in, and just was not enjoying her time. But that also signals like, all right, well, maybe you're saving some energy, saving some legs here last 10-15 minutes based on extra time.
They have to start on Wednesday.
Because that's a quick turnaround against America. But as far as this one, you can check out Abe's right up here. Not disgusting, disappointing, because let me tell you, Landon Donovan had something to say about what happened over at Snapdragon Stadium. So let's see if we can get the guest before us on KBBS's show, Landon Donovan. What are your initial takeaways from this matchup today? And with that VR decision, was there anything particular about you had on that one?
I haven't seen the playback, so it's I'm getting used to VAR, In this league, it's interesting that there's a lot of discretion for the ref, right? So you have to rely on the referee to understand the game at a high level and those kind of iffy decisions. So I haven't seen it. I can't speak to it. The game, yeah, it feels disgusting to lose that game. It was kind of a classic when the conditions are a little tough to play on and one team really wants to play, it kind of equalizes it. And the other team doesn't want to play, it makes it more favorable to them. And that's kind of what tonight was. It was hard to play on for us, and so that was challenging. But we still had, I don't know the numbers, but almost had close to 20 shots and the ball in the box 40 times. And so we had a lot of opportunities, but to their credit, they defended the box really well in a lot of tough moments.
Another one? Yep.
Yeah, just speaking on the chances, there's more corner kicks in this game than at any point this season. And, the way they've been really good at these set piece opportunities, whether they're fair defending or like.
Well, Tarsion's whatever 6'2", 6'3", and she just fills the middle of the zone. So a lot of those moments, they just did a good job getting their head on things, and we're doing everything right in those moments, but sometimes they make the plays and we don't. We've been making the plays a lot, so they were more set up that way to defend well in those moments, and you have to give them credit, they did.
Yes, with a tough game coming up against School America on Wednesday, what are some of the modifications you're going to look to do in the next few days?
Outside of replacing the field, I don't think there's a whole lot differently. We have to take into account just the physical demands that tonight placed on the players. With a lot of sand on the pitch too, it's just heavier, so they're gonna recover more slowly. So we'll take everybody's just physical capabilities into account. But it's a game we know we have to tie our wins. So we're well aware of that. The team will be made aware of that, but mostly just physically recovering will be the biggest part.
So you heard it there. Disgusting. His take, Abe. That moment, we were all just like, wow, all right. Yes, the microphones in this weren't the absolute best, but let me tell you how you felt and just kind of heard the tone in that room is the reality of what's going on in San Diego Wave right now. Like, it was very just a bucket of cold water. Like, this is genuinely, we think is it. And, they know they should have gotten something out of this game. I mean, anything, especially with the golden opportunity, with being able to maybe come closer 3 points for making playoffs. It's heartbreaking for them. But San Diego Wave will also participate in W Champions CONCACAF tournament. Abe, you heard it there too. I asked McCaskill about, hey, what happened in Carusa? Both teams play on the same pitch, but like, any difference? And they give the political answer that both of you thought and said. They're going to say this.
Both players.
Both teams played on the same field. Nothing changed. This. They're landed almost without prompt. Just said, yeah, no. If we can replace this field, gave the reason because of the sand. It's heavier and it's true. And again, you saw in the first half, especially, just a lot of players getting adjusted to the weight of certain areas in the pitch. Again, hopefully this doesn't lead into some sort of situation later on, because I mean, again, like Jeremy down here saying, it's like, this is playoff time. Imagine a few years just playing win a playoff on this pitch. It's terrible and embarrassing. Ashley, Alicia, also there.
That's the thing. If you're going to be adding dirt on the field, let them play like with metal studs so they don't slip on the dirt. Like that's the issue too. I mean, obviously you're not going to play with metal studs. That's just dangerous. But for your head coach to start saying, yeah, no, this field was not it, and your players are still saying, hey, like, no, both teams played on it, I think the players were being a little more safe. Obviously, nobody was happy with that, and Landon was not scared to just say, "No, this field sucked." But again, you lose an important game. You needed these 3 points to set yourself up nicely for the next two league games,
Mhm.
and now you have 3 days to prepare, 2 days to prepare against America, a
Yeah.
team that in the last 5 games has scored 16 goals, compared to Wave in their last 5 games have only scored 5. Like, this is a scoring machine team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You go
America
for it.
just beat Pachuca too,
Yeah.
who's the number one team in Liga MX Femenil right
Well,
now.
was the
So
number one team.
Here's the
sorry, what?
thing.
Yeah,
Was the number one team.
yeah.
Here's the thing. It's weird because again, like it's these like feelings that I kind of run into in soccer. I'm just like, I feel maybe things are going to go this way. I took in particular interest the fact that yes, 0-6. The fact that Landon Donovan spoke in a way that he spoke about like scouting about America because he was asked by a good friend of Morvilla, like, hey, like America in Mexico, other teams circle the calendar when they face. What about you? And he was just like, no, like we're preparing like we do. They just beat America Pachuca 5-0, the best team in the league, first place. Just gonna give context and to kind of give me this perspective. Like Landon knows CONCACAF. Like Landon may not know the NWSL, but these other clubs in CONCACAF are built essentially just like the teams on the men's side is built. The same philosophy, the same way of playing, the same tactics, the same like. Landon Donovan knows CONCACAF, so I think there's a chance that San Diego Wave can beat America.
Oh, whoa.
I think there's a chance that they can just muscle something out and really just see. Abe, you're shaking your head because
No,
you
what are
you
you
think
saying right
think
now?
this is you think
Wave
this
is
is
gonna
out
get
of it.
absolutely demolished by
Look, man,
America.
when it happens, I'd rather be on this side of history, and it's going to be one of these things where
No, you're not being realistic.
it's going to be. It's a
all your boys are
Landon's
in
a
the chat.
CONCACAF.
All your boys are in the chat right now.
CONCACAF is the
0-6 means that
Landon's a CONCACAF whisperer.
Tony's 0-6 in fantasy football. That's why his homies are in the chat. Tony, you are being delusional, saying Wave are somehow gonna pull this off.
Okay.
Yeah.
The boy is tired. The boy is
now
speaking
bring everybody back to
nonsense.
reality, gentlemen. Why is this not going to happen?
Because America is just that much better than Wave right now.
Abe is just waiting.
Hey, go ahead.
So I think America, you could say the Liga MX Femenil probably isn't as great overall as a league compared to the NWSL, and they might face competition that's not as good, but scoring matters, and the Wave haven't scored at a level that's just conducive to having like a good outlook. Like they look like they were scared to shoot the ball at times this game. There were so many passes inside the box where it in years past you would think to yourself, Jaden Shaw should shoot that ball. Like there's so many chances like that, and for that to change in one game, I just don't see that happening. Club America is just a world beater in their league. You got to be crazy to think that. And I think there's going to be probably 50-50 America fans and Wave fans at this game.
15 game plays in their season for America, 45 goals. Wave have played 24 games, have only scored 20. Conceded 30 goals. America in 15 games have only conceded 10 goals. They're hot right now in the Liga MX Femenil, and they're catching up. There's a few games left before playoffs. This is a team that is just going to absolutely dominate on Wednesday, Tony. There's going to be more America fans at Snapdragon than Wave fans. There's going to be louder, more environment in the stadium for America than for Wave. I feel bad for the Sirens that they do amazing every game, but I hope they don't get showed out by America, which could very much be the case. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully, everyone is still nice.
Bubbles conquer all. They'll join the cause.
Dude, I don't know. This is going to be the worst game in San Diego Waves, like score wise in their history. I think Wave lose like 5-0 here.
So
Maybe
the interesting part
one.
is technically, depending on the result of the Portland game, the Wave will still have 9 points. So it's going to come down to goal differential. So if the Wave lose, they could still technically make the next round of the CONCACAF W Championship playoffs, which it's gonna be interesting. They, like Landon said, they need to win or tie. Like really, they just need to not lose by like 3 goals.
I just need to see underhanded CONCACAF tactics by San Diego Wave. Like that's what they should have been doing this entire
You
time.
tie
It's
this
just-
game. Okay,
it's
if
just-
you were to tell me they can tie this game, then I'll kind of believe it a little bit. They
The-
can literally just defend the whole game and pull off a miracle and tie this game, and then they still secure first place. So that they have that.
No.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Sorry, I cut you off. You were about to say
No,
something.
you brutally did.
Yeah, sorry.
But in any case, San Diego Wave are going to face America. America, as you're saying, is gonna give it their all against the mighty San Diego Wave at Snapdragon on Wednesday. It'll be interesting to see what the turnout is. There is no interfering giant Mikey Varas, Tyler Heaps party for this CONCACAF championship. Something gets unlocked with Maria Sanchez. She goes Ultra Super Saiyan and represents and just remembers what Landon did in CONCACAF and just like channels
She's
that.
Played for Chivas. Don't forget
Played for
that.
Chivas. Maybe she didn't do well against Dash, just waiting for this. Who knows? We'll find out. Find out next time. But hey, anything else for San Diego Wave?
Are we doing grades now?
All right.
Let's do grades.
So let's go ahead and do that portion here, because if you had to grade this absolute train wreck of a season, well, I don't want to lead the witness, but you can decide on your own here. If you had to give a grade for
keep in mind
this
there's
match,
2 season games left, and then there's still the CONCACAF.
Yeah.
left, so,
yeah, so this is a progress report, if anything, right? But it's like the second to last one where like
yeah. Right
you
before
go up to the
semester
teacher
grades.
and then you're like, hey, how much of this like one notebook do I have to fill of information for you just to give me credit? And they're like, just do this. All right, cool. Do that a couple times. Abe, you don't strike me as that. You always turn in your homework. Cornell notes on point.
I have my own style. I don't succumb to Cornell's idea.
Oh, okay. Well, that's you do you, boo.
I would give the Wave, as of right now, if like not thinking about CONCACAF, just NWSL alone, D plus.
Whoa.
A D plus.
A
A D
plus.
plus for Abe. That's a very optimistic plus there from you.
That's right now, right?
Right now, I think the plus for me represents the play style that Landon Donovan has implemented
Mm-hmm.
and the way the offense can look if they have a dynamic striker in the future that can finish a lot of these opportunities. I think Landon Donovan mentioned it in the midweek availability. He said it a few times that pretty much the great NWSL teams, the teams that are at the top of the table, they have at least one striker, dynamic striker that just changes everything. Like and the Wave just haven't had that this season. They used to have that with Alex Morgan, which made them one of the top teams in the league. And now that they don't have an amazing striker, then now they're just nothing. So D plus right now. Could
Who can forget
eventually pass, but
Taylor Flint's not lack of integration in this team. Who would have thunk that, right? Maybe Casey Stoney keeps her, lets her compete a little bit. Chiba.
The way it is right now they are top of the CONCACAF Champions
Mhm.
group stage.
Okay.
They're 1 point away from getting that first place into the semifinal of that tournament. Remember, the winner of that tournament goes to the FIFA Club World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
However, they are 2 points away from last place,
Mhm.
which is obviously the worst thing that could happen, winning the Shield last season and then just ending in last place. With that combined, right now I give them a D minus. It's not total failure just yet because you still may qualify to the semifinals on Wednesday. If you lose that game and then you don't qualify and you ask me again after that, I will tell you it's an F for sure. Complete failure. Just missing playoffs, not doing anything. So it really just depends on that Wednesday. But as of now, I give them a D minus. Like you're barely passing. A D is passing
All right.
technically.
D's not
you're-
passing, is it?
In high school, it is all right. And in
60%
college,
not passing. What are you talking about?
oh, I'm sorry. You can't graduate high school with D's.
I thought you couldn't.
My
I was
brother
never
sure
in
did.
that. I was
My
never.
brother
No,
sure did
no,
graduate,
no,
Abe.
no child left behind, Abe.
Yeah, Abe.
So you can graduate with a D. That's great.
Yeah,
I
Look
thought
at
C was.
Look at this pompous
Wow.
asshole. Like, oh,
I went to University of Oregon. Go
A's.
Ducks.
Nothing but A's. What was your worst grade?
Probably got a fucking C plus.
Yeah,
No.
probably. I think so. That's probably
In
it.
what?
Pinchato
In
negro.
what? What math
Um,
class did you
No,
suck
it
at?
wasn't math.
History.
Chemistry.
Oh, I failed
Ugh.
chemistry in high school. Chemistry honors 0 period at 6:30 in the morning. Ugh.
Bola de estúpidos dos.
I had to go to summer school my sophomore year for that.
I agree that C's get degrees. I was much more lax in college with my
You
grades,
to come to the system, bro. All right. So with that, I think my grade is just overall an F plus.
Wow. Okay.
F plus because look, much like you're, looking down on us, scum of the earth, Abe, with your A pluses over there, with your unique note taking style that
I
just
didn't,
worked
I didn't
for
get
you.
A pluses. I was
super
good.
Sky, it's just an A.
Yeah.
Only 95%, bro.
I went to school if I was still sick, bro. Like,
that's you, Abe. But look, I've been in this depth. I've been in the depths of a F plus, from the impossible odds. One semester, I was told, "You're not going to graduate high school." By that being my senior year, and my counselor was like, "You're not going to do it." And then they were like, "But you just need to just go to your teacher and tell them what amount of work to do. But you have like a week, dude." I can't tell you the most focused 36 hours of my life just dedicated to doing semester's work. Oh, what's that? Semesters? Yes, because it was not just one, it was like 3 classes. And I turned everything in with A level quality stuff, just turned in for no reason. Like I was always gonna do, I was gonna do it right. Ended up turning that around. So there's still a chance. F plus is still a chance to turn it around with a first place.
No child gets
A first place. Hey, it worked out. Don't learn from me, kids. That's why I like.
Eres un genio pendejo.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm the laziest. To tell me to do homework, and I'm just no, I'm not gonna do it. Like that's not who I am, bro.
We would have had beef if we knew each other back in the day, Tony.
Dude, well, how about is
But here's the thing: we'd be fine because then like I'd be like, all right, dude, let's play some Yu-Gi-Oh, and then we'd have the most interesting Yu-Gi-Oh duels.
You're really 0-6 in one of your fantasy leagues?
Wait, I need you to stop.
Yeah, I'm just sharing the comments in the chat.
No, I'm talking to them. What the fuck? No.
All right, I think you guys cut yourself out of.
Tony se abrió y se fue ya.
Oh, pobrecito.
Yeah.
Pobrecito.
I've had too much of this.
Se quiso y no aguanta la cura. That is San Diego way for everyone. I mean, game upcoming Wednesday. So match prediction, I say 5-0. America. If you didn't know.
I got 2-1 Club America win.
I got a 2-1 San Diego Wave victory at Snapdragon Stadium. Snapdragon Stadium. It's going to be
even
an incredible
2-1
matchup.
loss is optimistic, Abe.
Step right up, San Diego Wave. Beat America 2-1 at Snapdragon Stadium to go first place into the next round in the semifinal action.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
2-1, Abe? That's surprising.
With my
I mean,
giant.
Club America lost against Portland, and the Wave dominated Portland in their last 2 matches.
Also didn't have any starters that game.
It's okay, way.
We don't know who Club America is gonna put in this match. Like, how much are they gonna value this? They might just say, "Screw it, we're only gonna care about the."
Oh, okay. Yo, a lot.
A
lot. Are you there? Are you in the trenches? Are you in the? Okay. San Diego Wave.
How much celebration would there be if they win this game?
Wave?
Yeah.
They celebrate like they win the Shield.
Landon paid Tony to say that. No, actually, things have cooled down a little bit between us. Just kind of
He
giving
doesn't give you the hate tones.
him a space. No, it's
Ape's his favorite now.
I think Johnny is.
Johnny, hope you're feeling better, buddy. Feeling under the weather. Couldn't make the game.
Yeah, poor dude. Move forward. I'm kidding. Shout out Johnny. His dad was there. He was like, "I'm here."
Yep. I wasn't.
That's what he says. He's like, "I'm here." Like, yeah, you
Tony's an
are.
adult.
All right. So with that, this brings a close to San Diego Wave. We will be bringing on the Sirens probably next week for that. And next week, we're also going to have more in-depth. It's a short episode tonight. I'm not going to lie, Abe. Are you
We
okay
have
with that?
Edwin? We should have Edwin on, honestly.
So
Talk
we're
about
actually-
the America win.
We're actually Edwin is banned from these airwaves.
Yeah.
We will be having a look into a new project for a local San Diego here between street soccer and just kind of player profiles that he's doing. Urban futsal or football on Instagram is coming up. It's pretty cool. We did record the newest episode of Club Deportivo Movie Club with
Yeah, we did.
ESPN head writer. I'm just going to throw that every time. Cesar Hacia Football, Cesar Hernandez, good friend of the podcast, technically employed.
No, not
He
employed.
falls under
It's
my
volunteer.
jurisdiction of HR,
It's
which, by the
volunteer
way,
work.
I'm still HR, guys. Drew, on that, we watched the second movie. You know what movie it is, Abe, and let me tell you, you're gonna like this. Have you seen the movie? Don't say what it is just yet. I want to check with the powers that be. But have you seen that movie?
I've seen the movie. I've loved the movie. I've done a lot of. I had to do an assignment on that movie in college, actually.
Oh.
I didn't have to. I chose that movie.
La parte de la cocina. Arre.
Jessica Mas. Name of the actress. Next to Bernal. Good old Bernal Diego Luna. Anyway, that's gonna be coming on up. So with that, we will go into our final segment, right?
Is there anything SDFC? Oh wait. Is there another wave thing or no? Anything else wave?
Okay,
at least address it. There was a
question.
lawsuit.
Oh yeah.
There was a lawsuit against the team.
Oh, I thought I mentioned it earlier.
You didn't.
Oh.
There was a lawsuit
mentioned
against
the
the team. There's an article that goes into more detail. Abe, if you want to talk about that article, not ours.
Yeah, I mean, we wrote an article, but I think their article kind of went in depth on everything that the lawsuit entailed of 5 former employees suing San Diego Wave for a multitude of things. I think if you read their article, it kind of on Defector, like Tony mentioned earlier, it kind of outlines everything. But yeah, it's hard to do this kind of stuff, man. Like, it's fucked up. All these stuff that we read about and all that. There's 2 lawsuits right now. Like, it's crazy. Why are there so many freaking lawsuits against just either way? Like, this shouldn't be in sports. It sucks that people have to go through this.
And to be completely honest, I just take the objective point of view of, let me go to the source material of this article, which is an actual lawsuit that is attached onto that article. Just knowing, and just an impartial kind of basis, the things that will be held, there is somebody to be held accountable, aren't necessarily the reasons why this is so charged emotionally, because of those accounts and terrible things that are being being put on trial here, essentially. But there is a lot of just kind of steps that Wave didn't take, NWSL didn't take, they just have to do as an organization, for one. And NWSL's independent investigation did highlight this. you need to have a vetted human resource position filled, period. And that's something that was failed by San Diego Wave. That was addressed in whichever way they decided to do. And then from there, not having an employee manual is kind of necessary as well for human resources. So that on the surface is kind of check. From there on, it's going to be difficult. I'd be shocked if we hear more details from any of this other than something being settled outside of court. But that's not for me to decide. That's not my decision. That's not my albatross to carry. But again, it just hasn't been a good season that should have been the best season for San Diego Wave, because this is, you're months away from having a new buddy in Snapdragon Stadium. And let me tell you, it was a missed opportunity this season, and for good reason. It's coming to an end. I think everybody just needs that reset. Everybody's felt this way for a while since the dismissal of Casey Stoney. Like, this season just needs to end, and it's just been dragging along. Ever seen anything that has been alleged? Not heard of this.
I think opinions in this is just not the most important thing. Obviously, it's if something did happen and that happened, obviously some people would need to get fired. And,
accountability.
And there needs to be that accountability from the team. Some people are asking for Joe Ellis to step down.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets to that, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't think Joe Ellis will step down. So I mean, again, this is just, now it's a lawsuit. See if it gets settled. See if it goes to court. From that all on, we just kind of tag along and we give you all any updates that we hear and see. And again, our job here is to, yes, we're going to empathize with the victims and everything. But at the end of the day, there's a legal system that needs to be followed. And yes, if it did happen, or for everything that's true, then there needs to be accountability from the team and fire some people.
New ownership's coming in.
That's
true.
True.
Also a factor that new owners should just come in and be like, you know what, Jill? You know, I know you're a part of this. I need you to sell whatever portion you have or whatever stake you have in this and just be gone. Like,
Yeah.
Jill, be gone. And then, just put whoever you want from there on.
Here's the thing. If Joe Ellis cares any little bit about this team or for this team, you would do that. You would step down and say, you know what? I mean, enough is enough. I've not done a great job. I also need to step down.
I mean, even if you just look at the on-field decisions this year alone, some people could say that's enough to warrant some leadership position stepping down, because
I mean,
it went from the best to literally the worst.
100%.
There's been turnaround in every major position, right? Head coach, GM. Ownership. Everything surrounding Jill Ellis is pretty much new and been turned over.
At this point, you could say it's Joe Ellis' turn to just hang up the boots. Or just
man. I mean,
turn in 2 weeks notice and bye-bye, wave, and just enjoy retirement.
Maybe that's the case, but we'll see what ends up transpiring here.
That's wild, man.
On the field.
From first to last.
It just hasn't been a good season.
That's insane.
It just hasn't been a good season.
Moving on from San Diego Wave. Any other
Christ.
thoughts? Any other thoughts about San Diego Wave, guys?
San Diego Wave will have their partner in tenantry in San Diego FC. San Diego FC is having more events. There's a carne asada
on Friday.
Carne asada on Friday.
¿Van a ir?
No.
I have a wedding to go that day. So
Friday weddings are bold. That's just assuming that people are going to take a Friday off from work if they're doing a whole day thing.
There's not a whole day thing. The wedding starts like at 7, I think.
So it's just like a one-stop shop, like night dun 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 dun. It's just punchis punchis.
After. No, like there's tan tan taran and then punchis after, like same hall, I think. I don't know.
Interesting. All right.
No sabu.
So Abraham, I think
Goals, Gaffes, and Greats.
I'm looking at you, Abe.
Let's have Avon. Let's keep Avon.
I'm just waiting for your
Hey,
support crew because they
dude.
haven't been here, and they were
You know why he's not here?
because
the Dodgers,
Dodgers lost.
That's why he's not
your
here.
support network is fueled by Dodger.
Your number one
pride.
fan is a big Dodgers fan.
That's okay.
Yeah,
People are allowed to be fans of whatever teams they like.
Oh, except America.
Do you remember that picture I showed you, Chiva?
Of you wearing an America jersey?
That is neither confirmed nor denied. I will just say that my grandfather is an America fan.
Let's keep it that way. Abe
Don't talk about him around Tony.
goals, gaffes, and greats. Goals, gaffes, and greats. Again, as we're saying, also we're expanding on SDFC as the days come ticking. We're going to start the Spanish version, just kind of catching everybody up. Now that hay un entrenador, hay un coach.
Mickey Vara.
Not Mickey.
Mikey.
And he'll punch you in the throat if you say that.
We have a great goal of the week, everyone.
Great goal of the week, courtesy of Monterey Bay FC, who are some of the former rivals of San Diego Loyal in the USL Championship. Familiar face in this one. Tampa Monterey Bay.
Looking to go to his left, a nice strike into the goal. It goes.
Xavi Naulati. That's Xavi Naulati. That is Wonderkin from San Diego Loyal. Xavi Naulati scoring his banger of the year. What a goal. Dipping over and into the net there. Xavi Naulati winning San Diego Punto Football's goal of the week. I mean, the boy's growing. The boy's, he's still
19,
a boy.
19.
Still a young man.
Younger than Abe.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's so
you're
much
old, Dave.
better when someone does it with the left foot. Like, that's just so pretty, man. Goals are
Absolutely.
cool. We should have
It-
asked Landon about it. He was all about the kids back in those Loyal days.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, he is still all about that, and you can tell because I pointed out he's doing more coaching than he ever did with San Diego Loyal, and like he knows what he's talking about in certain senses. Where like you know where you need to be on the pitch. You know, like I need you to move a little bit to the right to anticipate a potential pass going back to the goalkeeper as an attacker. You have to be able to poach that. So coaching Maria Sanchez through it and how Maria Sanchez is receptive to the coaching is cool to see, and that element is there. Whether or not his tactical, coaching style is the strongest or not, I think that's been proven. He needs some help. But that is a quality there. Hopefully he can turn that into Jaden Shaw.
Esteban said, did I miss the SDFC section? No hay nada, vato. There's a carne asada on Friday.
Look, it's a National Indigenous Peoples Day. So there was a celebration and a pretty cool wrap-up video of just kind of Sequan's involvement through this entire process. And it was a good snapshot into what's been here and give a good look at the Singing Springs training facility for Right to Dream, which, by the way, since I'm kind of part-timing East Lakeside and this fabulous studio and garage in IB, the Singing Springs training facility is going to be 12 minutes away from that house. So we, I think, are covered on some days.
Tony's house after covering.
Maybe I guess fine. I'd have
too
to
hot. I'm leaving as soon as I. It's way
please
too hot.
don't. I'm very cold. I'm that guy. Like I come over to Chula Vista and I'm like, oh my god, it is chilly. It's a chilly 82 degrees. What's going on here? But yeah, San Diego FC is it's gonna take off. And it's not going to stop. Like, I don't think people are prepared for that.
San Diego FC.
I think people are not prepared for how much of a rocket ship this is. It's about to be strapped to the soccer landscape in February 2025. This is going to be a machine that's already warming up. It's pretty much there, and it's just waiting to fire. Free agency in the MLS is going to go nuts. There is also free agency for the NWSL, and that's also starting. So keeping an eye on that as well.
San Diego FC is also playing in the GAF of the week,
They-
which is the Snapdragon Field.
The gaff of the week is indeed that Snapdragon Field
That was
that
embarrassing.
we
That was
mentioned
bad.
earlier. I think
Not
everybody,
safe.
yeah, not safe for work. And honestly, there's some things that you can and can't do when it comes to just maintenance, and just you can't do miracles at some point. But I want to find a solution. I want to go ahead and reach out once again and see if we can have a chat, very civilized, dignified chat like the last one was, about the condition and like what goes into it, like, because we spoke earlier to the season to the groundskeeping crew about this, this surface. And yeah, while it looked a certain way, it was flat. It was good. But now with the amount of sand on there and the amount of divots that are visible and the pace that you can now see, the pace of repair, right? Like you could see, a section that gets repaired, but the rest of the pitch is
Terrible.
in shambles. It's terrible. It's going to take an injury for something to kind of have to be, moved along. Worst case scenario, right? You have Chucky in one of those corner flag areas in the first home game for SDFC. Chucky goes, cuts inside, in that, tries to push off. His cleat kind of pushes off in an awkward, funky way because of the way that the pitch is. At this point, there goes Chucky. Like, that's a reality that can happen.
Luckily,
It can happen
the
in
field, the
any
field
other
should look
pitch.
better after football season from SDSU. But I mean, it's still not pretty.
Not ideal.
I figured it out. Messi's going to be playing a playoff game here, and he's going to get injured.
That means SDFC gets in playoffs. Chill, buddy.
That's probably true. Maybe there's like a late game against Inter Miami. And also, like, if your pitch isn't good enough, like, Messi might not play here. Like, that was a thing early in the season. When if the pitch isn't good, Messi won't show up. And that could be like a big deal. Like, if you're an SDFC like person, you got to be pretty upset if Messi isn't going to come play because of how poor the pitch is.
100%. That's very valid, actually.
And it's going to be a recurring kind of event that's going to be happening, because this is, not better than motocross in some areas of this pitch, but it's just unfortunate. It's just kind of seeing that be the premium venue for Snapdragon. And don't get me wrong, it happens at Petco Park too. I hate every time there's a giant concert in the middle of the season, because then you see the outline of the stage in center field, and that's, one, dangerous, and two, tacky when it happens. So there's enough venues to hold that don't actively have a sports team needing it and requiring. It's not like a hardwood where you can just replace it, right? Like, it's grass. Like, it's the living thing. But yeah, that's gaff. Great.
For great, I mean, you mentioned it earlier. I think the San Diego fans definitely rallied for their sports teams this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The atmosphere at Petco Park was crazy for the home games.
Yeah, no, San Diego is a soccer city, period.
San Diego's a sports city.
It's a sports city, man. Like, San Diego really came out.
They just need the sports to come through.
Yeah, for once. And guess what? Your San Diego Sockers are coming down the barrel. San Diego Sockers.
They have in the last 2 seasons.
They have in the last 2 seasons, but new Front Wave Arena is set to open.
What went different for San Diego Sockers the last 2 seasons? You were part of the team. Yikes.
They didn't have that I was actually going to give you an answer, but yeah, I am technically the jinx. I wonder what Chuki's thinking about seeing this pitch. Are there worse in Mexico? 100%. 100% there's worse pitches in Mexico.
Cholos is still worse.
Cholos is technically
turf.
worse than any non-natural surface. So there you go, right? Like,
yeah,
it's
still a little worse.
It's a blessing whenever Cholos players play away in natural grass.
I'd rather slip on actual grass and dirt than get my cleats stuck on fake grass and break my ankle.
Kind of like what I'm seeing from Abe over here. Just kind of going for the bit, and just really going 100% and switching these headphones. He's convinced it's the headphones that have aired him. Can he hear? Is Abe in contact?
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right.
Oh,
Real time.
The greatest you, Abe.
You
You
and
are the great.
what you do for this fine city of San Diego in covering the sport is absolutely wonderful. Abe. No, essentially says sports in San Diego, the fan base has been showing out, representing, and whenever SDFC starts, whatever that fan base looks like is going to be interesting at kickoff, and what it does create. Hopefully, is a good representation of the city. Abe, anything else that's a great?
You guys are great. Love
Oh
you
man,
guys.
oh man,
Stop.
I
I've
don't
been
like that.
me and Chiva have been carpooling lately to these wave games, and I've been really enjoying those
I appreciate
drives.
you,
Nice
Abe.
chill.
Really? Like, what do you guys talk about?
Abe's my little brother. I'm your little
You
brother.
can't just. I mean, all right.
I
I
adopted
think
Abe.
it's like we're cousins,
Oh,
long lost cousins.
I like that.
that's pretty
You
cool.
guys are cousins, primos. Yeah.
Pedo primo. Vamos a ponernos bien pedos, primo.
You should get EA 25. Abe.
Like
We were having a lot of fun earlier.
Yeah, it was an absolute blast in the Two Balls and a Mic studio. So with that, live soccer has been covered right now. We'll be covering
EAFC tournament coming soon.
San Diego Punto Football is the name of the game. Go ahead and check us out on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We'll have surprises actually coming on down. New show for the movie club coming down. Everything's getting announced. Even if you were paying attention, you probably figured it out, but it's fine. With that said, season's greetings. Bye.
Bye-bye.